Hello everyone and welcome. This presentation is a summary of two key areas in project management: project closure from Chapter 14 and international projects from Chapter 15. These concepts are based on the SIE/ENTR 457/557 Week 13. Let's start with Chapter 14, Project Closure. This is the fourth and final phase of the project lifecycle, coming after defining, planning, and executing. It's not just about stopping work. It's a formal process with its own set of critical tasks and deliverables, which we'll cover now. The major goals of closure can be broken into three main categories: deliver and verify. This is the first step. You need to evaluate if the project actually delivered the benefits it was supposed to and, just as importantly, get formal acceptance from the customer. Assess and improve. This is where you look back. You formally assess what went right and what went wrong. The entire purpose of this is to learn from your successes and failures to improve how you run future projects. Archive and disband. This is the logistical wrap-up. It involves shutting down all resources, closing the books financially, reassigning your team members, and formally archiving all project documentation. So, what does implementing close down actually look like? It's a series of concrete steps that form a checklist for the project manager. First, you get formal customer acceptance of the final deliverable. This is non-negotiable. Next, you shut down and release your resources. This includes physical resources like equipment, labs, and facilities. Then you reassign your team. This should be done gradually and thoughtfully, not just abandoning everyone on the last day. You must close all accounts. This means paying all final bills, processing all invoices, and closing the project's financial books. And finally, you create the final report and archive all project data. This includes performance metrics, final plans, and, as we'll see, the lessons learned. A key part of closure, and one that's often handled poorly, is the individual performance evaluation. Who is responsible? This depends entirely on your organization structure. In a strong project matrix or a project organization, the project manager is responsible for the review. But in a balanced matrix, it's a joint effort between the PM and the functional area manager. How do you conduct them? There are several best practices. Always start by asking the individual for their own self-evaluation. It's crucial to focus any criticism on specific, observable behaviors, not on the person's personality. Be consistent, be fair, and treat this review as just one point in an ongoing conversation about their career and performance. A very effective, though more complex, method for evaluation is the 360-degree feedback. This isn't a simple top-down review. It's a multi-rater appraisal where you solicit anonymous feedback from everyone the team members work affects. As you can see from the diagram, this includes their managers, their peers, any subordinates they may have, and even internal or external customers. The goal is to get a holistic, well-rounded view of their performance. A word of caution: for this to be effective, you have to actively solicit input from a wide range of viewpoints, not just the people you know are supporters. This is arguably one of the most valuable parts of project closure, but it's also the one most frequently skipped: the retrospective, also known as lessons learned. This is a formal analysis designed to capture what worked and what didn't. The goal isn't just to talk, it's to create a concrete action plan to ensure the organization can benefit from your solutions and, more importantly, stop making the same repetitive mistakes. This often fails.
Why?
Because teams run out of time, or the session turns into a blame session. To make it effective, two best practices stand out. Use an independent, impartial facilitator who wasn't on the project. Don't wait until the very end. The best approach is to include several in-process learning gates during the project, not just one big review after it's all over. Okay, let's shift gears and move on to Chapter 15, International Projects. This entire chapter is about navigating the unique and significant complexities that arise when your project spans multiple countries, cultures, and legal systems. The first thing to understand is that every international project is deeply influenced by its local environment. We're talking about 6 major factors here, as shown in the diagram. Legal/political. Is the government stable? Is corruption a standard part of doing business? What are the local laws and regulations? Economic. You have to worry about GDP, inflation, and currency exchange rates. Culture. This is a huge one. Customs, social standards, values, and language will affect everything. Infrastructure. Can you even get reliable power, transportation, or telecommunications? Security. This includes everything from local crime and kidnapping risks to international terrorism. Geography. And finally, simple geography, dealing with different climates, seasons, and natural obstacles. Of all those factors, culture is often the most challenging. The biggest pitfall to avoid is ethnocentrism. This is the tendency to believe that your own cultural values and ways of doing things are superior to all others. It's a major blind spot. To help navigate this, there are useful tools like Hofstede's Dimensions, which analyze things like individualism versus collectivism or power distance. Another is the Kluckhohn-Strotbeck framework, which looks at a culture's orientation toward time or their relationship with nature. Understanding these differences is key to building trust and managing your team. For U.S.-based companies, a major legal hurdle is U.S. export controls. These are laws that govern the distribution of strategically important technology, services, and information to foreign countries or foreign nationals. You need to be aware of two main regulations. ITAR, from the Department of State, this controls defense-related articles found on the U.S. munitions list. Think spacecraft, missiles, and military equipment. YEAR, from the Department of Commerce, this controls dual-use items, things that have both commercial and military applications, like high-performance computers or advanced encryption software. Violating these regulations can have severe legal consequences for both the company and the individuals involved. Finally, let's talk about offsets. This is a formal process, especially common when dealing with foreign governments. When you sell a large project or product to another country, their government will often require an offset agreement. This means they want their local industry to benefit from the deal. They don't just want your product, they want you to transfer technology, invest in local R&D, build a local facility, or procure components from their local suppliers. The U.S. government does not have an offset requirement, but it accepts it as a cost of doing business abroad. These agreements are very complex and carry significant legal and financial risks if you fail to meet your obligations. And that concludes the summary.
Thank you.